Welcome to Gavels Down, Voices Up with me, Rachel King. This is where we leave convention at the courtroom door and dive into your real stories, bold and unpopular opinions, and change-making ideas that really shake the legal world up and change where change is desperately needed. I'm here to shake it up, talk about unfiltered insights, and amplify voices that need to be heard. So are you ready? Let's get it. Put the gavels down and the voices up. Today on Gavels Down, Voices Up, we are going to talk about all of the things you should not do. Let's call this the What Not to Do episode. My name's Rachel King. I am a strategic litigator. I'm also a California board certified specialist in probate, and I go to court and to trial all the time. I'm in court almost daily. I'm in trial multiple times per year. And often I get asked by clients or people on the socials, what should I do? What you should do is very case specific, right? How to act, what to do, how to handle your case. That really involves what specific area of law you're in, what are the facts, what is the court being asked to do, is there a jury or no jury? All of that really comes into play when you ask an attorney, what should I do? So for today, we're going to be a little bit more all-inclusive and talk about what not to do. My hope is that if I give you these few simple what not to do's, you will have a better outcome and it will be easier for you to follow the what you should do after you talk to your attorney. Okay. What not to do. This, I think, applies regardless of the area of law that you find yourself in. I think it applies regardless of the state that you find yourself in, maybe even regardless of the country. I'm not licensed everywhere. I'm only licensed in California, Kentucky, Arizona, and Texas. But I think that these are what not to do's almost anywhere. Certainly you need to talk to your own attorney in your own jurisdiction. I don't want to get in trouble for all of that, but let's get into it. What not to do. First, don't lie to your attorney. Oh my gosh. I think as an attorney, this is very obvious. However, it is not, because people lie to their attorneys all the time. In fact, when I talk to attorneys, one of the things that I always hear is, oh, every single client lies to me. Why are you lying to your attorney? You are paying your attorney so much money to help represent you in your case that to lie to them makes no sense whatsoever. But let's bring it home a little bit more. If you lie to your attorney is now creating an entire case strategy, is figuring out how to present evidence and what evidence to present to the court or the jury. And they're doing so based on a lie. That means it is no good. Then you add on that a lot of attorneys are really good, and chances are the opposing attorney is going to figure out the lie. They're going to find out the truth, and they're going to present the truth in court, and you're going to leave your attorney just speechless with deer in headlights in the courtroom because they didn't know, because you lied to them and they were ill prepared. Tell your attorney the truth so that your attorney can create the right strategy and can be prepared. There is a thing, I do it a lot, called taking the sting out of it. You want to give your attorney the power to take the sting out of it. Second, and this is super controversial. I can't even tell you how many people tell me I'm wrong. So I'm going to start with an individual unique disclaimer, and that is you should talk to your attorney first. I am absolutely not saying that you should violate any of your constitutional rights. Okay, but with that said, when a judge asks you a question, answer the question. The judge has information. They're hearing competing stories. They're trying to make sense of all of the information that they have gotten. Sometimes they tune out. I've had judges fall asleep during the trial, and we knew that they were asleep because they did that and woke themselves up with a bit of a snort. So they don't hear everything. I always say, let's fingers crossed that the judge falls asleep at the time that the other person is making their smoking gun argument and evidence, but you never know. So When a judge is asking you a question, it's probably because they need clarification. They didn't understand what you said previously. They didn't understand what the attorney asked compared to the answer. And they want to make sure that they have all of the facts and that they understand it. So absent your attorney coming in and being like, absolutely not, I'm a big advocate of answering the court's questions. Now, this is different than going off on some narrative tangent where you're just volunteering a whole bunch of information to the judge. I have more than once cut my client off and been like, nope, we're not doing that because I don't know what they're going to say. But a specific question from the judge, I say, answer it. Number 4. Do not be all over the internet with your case. I think this is so important that I even put it in my fee agreement where my clients agree to stay off the internet regarding their case. We all love social media. I adore social media, and I'm willing to bet the people that say they don't like social media are either embarrassed that they like it or they haven't really been introduced to social media. It's fabulous, but social media is not the place for your case. You never know what is going to be used against you, and once you put it out on the internet, it's there to stay. At least 10 times I have had the opposing party bring in a screenshot of the Snapchat conversation that's supposed to disappear as soon as it happened. Guess what? That screenshot did not. And one of them was so important, it was actually an agreement that the two people had made regarding the division of the assets and a spousal support. After that conversation, that Snapchat conversation, one of the parties decided to go back on it, said, we never did that, they're lying, da, 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 da. Well, my client, super smart in this, brought in a screenshot of the Snapchat conversation that had the agreement where it was agreed to. Now, this does two things. It sheds light on the fact that the other person is a liar, but it also gives the court some kind of information that, yes, there was an agreement, and should the court be enforcing this agreement? Takes the he said, she said out of it. So stay off the internet with your case. Stay off of social media. Don't do it. Don't let your friends do it. Don't be tagged. Keep your personal life private for the duration of the case entirely, because if it's on the internet, there's no way to get rid of it. And if it's good enough, it'll show up in court. For all of you on YouTube, I'm drinking my Snapple. This is my favorite drink, the zero sugar Snapple teas. Maybe one day I can get Snapple to sponsor my videos since I'm always drinking it. It's literally the only beverage that I consume out of water. Maybe not that healthy. It's got a lot of aspartame in it, but pick your battles, pick your poisons.
And now for a quick break. This episode of Dabbles Down, Voices Up is proudly brought to you by King Law Firm Attorneys at Law Incorporated. We're not just about winning cases, we're about making a difference. Whether it's family law, probate litigation, or standing up against elder abuse, we bring experience, empathy, and excellence to the courtroom. At King Law Firm, we're more than lawyers. We're your team, in your corner, advocating for your rights and making your voice heard. Visit us at thelawyerking.com and on the socials at The Lawyer King to see how we fight with you and for you. King Law Firm Attorneys at Law Incorporated, where your fight becomes our fight. Now, let's get back to today's episode.
The last thing that you should not do, regardless of what kind of case you're in, what area of law it in, regardless of everything, you should not listen to jailhouse lawyers. But I'm going to broaden that. We used to call them jailhouse lawyers, if you know what that term is. Basically, it's where you're in jail. I think it derived from this. I've not been in jail, knock on wood, or prison, knock on wood again, maybe double knocks on wood. So jailhouse lawyer terms came from all of the people that were in jail or in prison, and one of them would be in the library and would be researching, and they would share their collective knowledge of things that they've learned throughout their cases, and it give each other advice. Advice happens all the time, right? They'll be sitting at the bar and people will volunteer their opinions. You go to your friends, your family, you ask for their opinion. All of this is great. None of that should be considered as actual legal advice. You have to be an attorney to give legal advice, at least where I am. And so anybody that's giving you legal advice out there outside of being an attorney is really not allowed to. Second, everybody's advice that they're giving you is based on, first, the very narrow aspect of what you've shared with them about your story. And two, it's filtered through their perspective. I was at a sushi bar and I was talking to my husband and we were talking about spousal support. I don't really know why. I think it was in the context of a conversation, had nothing to do with us. We're happily married, but we were talking about spousal support. And this person over here at the sushi bar next to me, because at the sushi bar, it's kind of social, start saying how I, assuming I was the wife asking for spousal support based on what they interpreted, right? So they misinterpreted the entire conversation and said that I should absolutely not waive my right to spousal support, that they took their ex to the cleaners and got $3,000 a month in spousal support. So I would be foolish to waive spousal support. Well, I thought this was interesting because, first of all, you don't know anything about my situation. Second, I don't know anything about your situation. So how in the world would I rely on this person to give me any guidance as to what I should or should not do in my own situation? The problem is many people do. They hear all of this chatter, all of this advice, and they think, oh, that's what I want to have happen. That's what I want to hear. So I'm going to do it. But you don't know whether it's even possible in your case because you haven't been given all of the facts. Don't listen to your jailhouse lawyers. Don't listen to your Facebook lawyers. Don't listen to your bar lawyers. Go and talk to a real attorney if you want real legal advice. My name is Rachel King. This has been a short and sweet gavels down, voices up, what not to do episode. And I'm hoping that it gave you some guidance and that you feel more confident moving through your case. Until next time. Thanks for tuning in to Gavels Down, Voices Up. Like what you heard? Then don't just sit there. Subscribe, share, and tell me your thoughts. I'm Rachel King, bringing not just my opinions to the mic, but about the courtroom too. Your part, keep listening, keep engaging, and until next time, let's keep those gavels down and our voices up. Unmistakably up.